I thought I had a lighter over here. Hey, everybody, this is Aya. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. A very good life. How are you guys doing? Welcome back, fairy friends, and welcome to my channel. Anyone that is new, again, my name is Aya. I am a feminine shaman, and I assist people with their awakening journey, with their shamanic healing journey. I do and practice soul retrieval, trauma healing, and within that, we use the modalities of astrology, Reiki healing, soul sessions, and your ancestors could pop up. I am a medium. I am a vessel, not to be used by anything and anyone. We have boundaries over here, but to be resourceful for your highest and best good. How are you? Today we're going to be, and now my brother's calling me, so I'm going to press decline. Let me give him a message. I'll call you back live. I'm live. I'll call you back. All right, cool. All right. Let me get back to you. Okay. What was I saying? Well, today's Saturday, and tomorrow, February 1st, it's okay. I stop again. To February 1st, Peru, which is where I'm at right now, is going to be going back on lockdown. And I don't know what that means for me, like how my life is going to be. I'm a little bit apprehensive about like my freedom and my fun and stuff like that. It's nice to go outside and like see a bunch of people like riding bikes, skateboarding, scootering, however people enjoy themselves. They're going to the beach. You know, I'm a walker. And I love part of the fun of walking is seeing other people, you know, out enjoying themselves and going to restaurants and trying new things. That's part of the fun and of being alive, I guess, experiencing different places. We're only allowed to go outside for like an hour at a time, although the police can't control that. They can just be annoying, you know, with their checkpoints and check stops on major intersections and stuff. Like when I was in lockdown last time in Cusco, I found ways around being around the police. I would like walk. I found like back ways so I can have some like peace, you know, and just kind of like that's my time to myself. Walking around and like looking at the trees, looking at the birds. I don't want to like give that up or, you know, but they say the lockdown is only going to last like until the middle of February, but that could change and we will see. So lately I've been talking a lot about just empaths and relationships and stuff, because when I work with people, and I work with highly sensitive people, I work with people who consider themselves empaths. I work with people who are here to ascend and live life on a different dimension, and maybe even leave the old dimension, the old way of thinking behind, like living a life of a shaman or a mystic or of a person who lives by higher spiritual principles and letting go of old patterns, which mostly means relationships that we have become addicted to over many lifetimes. It's not easy work. It's not easy. And a lot of you guys feel embarrassed and stuff by like the struggles you have. Don't, because you're here to learn. And so I'm a being. You're attracted to me, if you are attracted to me at all, because I'm maybe just a bit ahead of you in my process. I might transform a bit faster because that's what I'm supposed to do. Everybody has a job here to do. We're all supposed to work together, you know? And so I'm here to share like my wisdom and like these promptings and stuff that I get to speak about these things are even interesting to me. So lately it's been about for empaths, speaking of narcissistic relationships, but even helping empaths with their shadows, because I feel like a lot of times empaths look at themselves as victims. And the key to having autonomy and experiencing yourself as a strong being or someone who is in control of their life is taking responsibility for like everything that happens to you, whether you're in a lower position or a power position. You know what I'm saying? Like empaths a lot of times feel powerless, and it's because they put themselves in positions with people who don't care to take responsibility for their actions, what they say, what they do, how they feel. And the empath ends up getting the short end of the stick, which in turn makes you feel worthless, like you're not worthy of respect or you're not worthy of existing sometimes. And when it comes to anything in this realm that we're in, you have to take it. Like, if you want to feel empowered, you have to take your power. Like, people aren't going to give it to you because everyone is projecting their powerlessness on the outside of them. Nobody wants to own their own powerlessness. And so if you are willing to take on and be the face and the martyr, the scapegoat, even if you feel like I'm not willingly doing that, you are. If you're not like standing up for yourself, fighting back, or retreating out of situations that aren't for your highest and best good, you have to look out. They say look out for number one. It's true. You look out for yourself first, and then if you want to, because it's not even a requirement, like for my karmic lessons, it is a requirement that I help people or whatever, but I don't have to. I honestly don't have to, you know? So I hope you guys, that was an introduction. So the topic we're going to be discussing today is, what did I write in the title? How empaths say, I'm going to love you. Well, I'm going to give you the love that I never had. Or there's this sentiment in a relationship with empaths, and it doesn't matter if it's family, friends, your children. There's this hey Marie, nice to meet you as well. Thank you so much for commenting. I appreciate it. I like the participation. It makes me feel like I'm talking to people, but empaths say and feel as though they can love people, give people the love that they never had. Like that's their goal in all of their relationships, to their own detriment. Because I asked the question, is that possible? No, it's not possible. It's actually dangerous, and it's actually imposing upon other people's space. And also, you don't know whether or not you are giving someone the love you never had. Because in order for you to, for someone to truly feel loved, you will have to love them in a very specific way. Like you actually have to know how that person actually feels love, and it may not be in the same way that you feel love. So making the assumption that other people need the same things that you need is presumptuous. And a lot of times it'll make people feel like you're overstepping your boundaries. And that's why empaths face a lot of rejection in relationships. even in relationships with their children. I've said this on my podcast, which is called Trigger Happy. You guys can check that out as well. I say this from time to time, but a lot of parents have really great intentions when they say, I'm going to give you the life I never had. I'm going to give you the love that I never had. And you really need to focus on giving yourself that love, that attention, because I was talking to a client the other day. Of course, I'm not going to mention any names. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. And we were discussing how she wanted to decorate her toddler's room. And we did a guided meditation. And within this guided meditation, we saw the things that she was attracted to in her childhood. And those were the things that she wanted to put in her daughter's room. And I was like, oh, okay. So the things you want to put in your daughter's room are really the things that you like, you know? And she was like, oh my gosh, I never thought about it that way, you know? And I was like, so why don't you get those things for yourself? And then you let your daughter live out her Disney dreams or whatever it is she wants, she likes in her room. Because what ends up happening is that empaths will reject what someone else is like. Well, I don't like that for you. I think you should like this. I think you should, I think you should be happy with like being hugged and having a lot of affection, because that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times empaths don't even really know who they are. But if you really want to know who you are, look at how you're trying to love other people. Look at all the ways that you're giving other people the love you never had. Then give that to yourself. Now, the issue that a lot of empaths have is that they refuse their own love. They reject their own love, and they want it from other people. So when you're giving this love that you never had to other people, you're not really giving it away pro bono. You're giving it away with the hopes that the other person will feel prompted, just a little small suggestion to turn around and give you that love back in return, which makes people feel like emotionally blackmailed and trapped and stuck, and they run away from you, they flee to never return. And they feel confused, like, is something wrong with me? Should I want to this is the love of my life. I've never been loved like this before, so why does it feel so like encroaching? It's not free. It's not a freedom type of love. Like real love actually makes you feel free, like a bird. Like makes you want to sing, makes you want to fly, makes you want to dance. Because the person, if someone actually is paying attention to you, is having an intimacy with you, is having erotic relationship with you. Because erotica is about noticing the small things about someone and paying attention to what other people like. So my question is to a lot of empaths, would you even be interested in relationships with people if you had to pay attention to what someone actually liked, and instead of giving them the love you never had? It's an interesting question. I would say because it's actually real work. It's harder to love someone is to love someone for who they really are than it is to kind of project onto them like what you never had. And another point I wanted to make, especially about like the kid thing, the children. If you have children and you're an empath and you're trying to give them the life you never had, the love you never had, without really getting to know them and what it is that they like, you could be creating resentment and kind of repeating the same pattern over again, even though you don't really mean to. A pattern of a generation, a legacy where people don't feel seen, heard, loved, and noticed, but you're giving people like the best love that you feel like you have to offer. So my thing is like, for empaths, when it comes to relationships, take a step back and get to know people slowly. Even people that you feel like you have summed up already and you can see all who they are or whatever. You know, take a step back and really challenge yourself and get to know people. Ask questions. Let other people tell you what they like and who they are, instead of you summing them up in a nice bow and deciding how the relationship is going to be ran. You know, yeah, that's my take. Let me see if anything else wants to come up. I have an idea, but sometimes when I get offline, I doing self-love after being ghosted by a boyfriend narc these past 7 months. Was in it for 5 months. Yeah, narcissists like to love bomb, but empaths love bomb too. Well, kamikaze dive. After a narcissist love bombs, then the empath is all in, like with their whole life, all their expectations, all their hopes and dreams. You know. But really, empath should take it slow and ask a lot of questions. There's lots of questions to be. Relationships need to be earned, everybody. Trust has to be earned. Your love needs to be earned, not just given away freely. All right. What else, Spirit, do you want us to discuss when it comes to empaths loving people, giving people the love that they never had? What am I missing? I know I'm missing something. And then this card comes flying out. Oh, okay. So the Gerby card comes out reverse, which is a feminine guru. Okay, that's kind of like what I be trying not to say is that a lot of times empaths use their powers of healing and to be able to give people wisdom. I already said this, but it's like the shadow side of being an empath, to where you use your powers to control people in relationships. It's emotional blackmail. And I hate to say that to you guys, because I know a lot of empaths suffer deeply from overgiving, but this is a way to keep you from like overgiving, is for you to focus on your self. Give that love to yourself. Always give that love to yourself. And focus completely on yourself. I don't think empaths realize just how much you need to focus on yourself. Like, your life is all about you. And like I was saying before, empaths feel resentment about that because there's such a gaping hole when it comes to connection with others. After you get finished, this is part of the alchemical process, guys. After you get out of the childhood stages, there's no way possible to go back and redo it and get that love back that you never got. It's over. And the only thing left for you to do is drop into that void yourself, which is why, and then reparent yourself, which is why a therapist, spiritual counseling is of need, because there's just a lot of blind spots and things that you would not be able to see. A lot of tantrums inside that have never been thrown, a lot of, stages of development and initiations missed out on, because you've been focusing so much on caring for other people, you feel like that's your purpose in life or that's who you are. And it's not. Your purpose in life cannot be your defense mechanism. It can't. Your purpose in life is not your defense mechanism. You are more than that. You have more of life to live and more to offer than just helping everybody and like being so in tune with other people that you have tuned yourself all the way out. All right, the next card that comes out is Church reversed to Temple reversed. Temple energy reversed. Yeah, so empaths tend to stay out of their body and inside other people's energy. Out of your mind, inside other people's mind. And it makes other people feel like they don't have a safe space around you. Narcissists do this too now. Narcissist is like an inverted empath. What else wants to come out about this? These are all very hard truths I'll probably get beat up for. But I'll take it. You see, I've had to come to these realizations myself in order to get over myself. You have to get over it. You have to get over yourself. You know, life is not, I had to learn that life ain't all about me and how I feel. Life is not all about me and me getting my way, what I want, you know, in relationships with people. I have to allow people their space and their time to heal and be who they are and come to their own conclusions in their own way when it comes to their healing. And giving other people the love that I never had may not be the type of love that other people desire. Everybody doesn't require or desire the same type of love. So yeah, the cards that I'm pulling are saying that living like this is kind of avoiding your own emotional body and taking steps away from your path in life and connecting to Mother Nature and all of her elements, laying out in the grass, hugging trees, spending time by lakes, getting healing, massages. Like, you need self-care, like pampering yourself, like Marie is talking about. Here, you have, like, that needs to be your way of life, just every day for the rest of your life, because it's going to take a really long time to make up for the loss of love that you experienced in your childhood, and no one's going to be able to make that up for you in relationships, because relationships, although they can be healing, no one can really spend all day healing each other unless the two of you aren't living your purpose and don't have a job, which is a lot of time what empaths experience with the narcissists. Well, you know, two people who have a lot of time, you know, but when you're living on purpose and you're actually focused on yourself, filling yourself up, you know, it's just a different dynamic you experience in relationships, to where your expectation will be different. You know, I'll take care of myself, you take care of yourself, and we'll be there for each other. Hey, Eric. I don't know what you mean by that. And then when we come together, you know, we'll enjoy one another. We'll enjoy one another more. You'll enjoy your relationships a whole lot more if you approach it not in that way. Not in a way of, you know, I'm going to love you for what I didn't have. I'm going to give you the love I know. After a while, that gets old and exhausting. The expectations is too much. Hey, Ray, how you doing? The expectations just become insurmountable on both ends, whether the person is a narcissist or not. You know, a lot of times, a narcissist will mount your energy and you'll end up playing the role the narcissist was playing anyway. And the narcissist will end up being the victim, you know, because you're portraying yourself to be this innocent person and you're really just using me, because it's true. Empaths use people too. But I don't feel like a lot of people talk about that. And in order for empaths to really regain their energy and their strength and their spiritual autonomy, you have to be real about that shit. You have to be honest and be like, you know, if I really truly had to be in a real adult relationship, would I really want to be an adult and hold up my true end of the bargain? Because a lot of people don't need to be raised. You're basically telling people that you're willing to sit with them and raise them. You're welcome, Ray. Yeah, I recently just made a pick a element reading. You guys can check that out. It's called Relationship Karma. You ain't never had a friend like me. Kind of talking about some of our relationship karma issues. You can pick between the elements: earth, water, air, or fire. But yes, and plus, if anybody that wants to continue this conversation with me on this live right now, let me know. I will post the link to join me on this broadcast, and we can have a good old conversation if I can. I don't know how to do this. I'll always be having like issues. I guess I have to go to the friggin' whatchamacallit broadcast, post comment. Oh, I can post a comment. Well, thank you. So anybody that wants to join and speak on it can. Okay? Yeah, join. Let's talk. Let's dish. Yeah, the first way to get your power back, because empath, that pick a deck reading was deep. I picked water. You read my life. Thank you, Billy Angel. I love your name, Billy Angel. That's beautiful. I like those androgynous names like that. That's cool. Let me see. I'm trying, with these lives, people come on here like late. I'll be 30 minutes into the conversation and then people start coming in to the room and my light is going. And then let me turn on the light over here. This way. Yonder. I'm going up yonder to see my Lord. What else? Spirit, what you want to say to us about these topics? Who are you, empaths? Who are you? Get into who you are. You are not just like this servant, here to just give all your love away for free, all of your energy away, victim. Who are you? When I asked you that question, do you know how to answer it? Do you know how to communicate that? Because really, that's how you have a relationship with someone. That's how you share who you really are. That's how someone shares who they really are with you. What do you value? What do you like? What do you want to do? How do you spend your time? We got to get out of this thing to where we're like healing people in relationships so we can stop being victimized all the time and complaining that we can't find nobody to love us, because it's just not true. It's not. People are willing to be your friends. You know, people are willing to be in relationship with you, and but it can't all be on your terms, and it can't just be all you like healing everyone. Yeah. So yeah, what's coming out is like unstable energy. Like you give people access to your mind too much. You know, you don't say what you really want, what you really mean, and people are like able to remotely view into your life. It's too much of this. This is a soul tie, the soul ties card from my deck. It's too much of this types of energy is going on, which is why I'm having like to have these discussions. You know, it's too much of this soul ties energy going on. So you don't feel like you have control over your own life, over your own mind. It's important to love, yes, but you can't love someone more than they love themselves, and you can't give somebody the love you never had. You don't really only give that to yourself. So anybody that wants to jump on along, even talk, let's dish, let's talk. Somebody, anybody have something to say about some of the topics that we're discussing, or you want to talk about the reading or whatever it is that's on your mind? Both of you guys did the water. You guys also can join my channel. It's back up and running. My advertisements are back up and running. My membership's back up and running. It was turned off for like a month or two. But I guess the YouTube guys have smiled on me and gave me what I needed. YouTube customer service is awful. It's like not customer service at all. They be like, oh, well, that's your problem. It's not my problem. Good luck. And I'm like, hey, that's rude. But yeah, I guess talk about myself and like my relationships now. It's been like a really long time coming. Now I'm attracting friends that I actually like, people I like, and it's not forced, or it doesn't feel weird. I'll say that. It's not awkward. It's like, hey, what's up? Where you at? It's like travel friends. I have travel friends now. No, you don't need to re-sign up. Everything's good if you're already a member. The key about relationships for empaths, first of all, I don't consider myself an empath because I honestly feel like it's a imbalance. It's a disease. It's a superpower, yeah, but it was developed because you needed a defense mechanism to survive in the environment you were in growing up. So that's why I don't like to see people, I'm an empath life coach and it's my life purpose to be an empath. I hate that. That's like teaching people that it's okay for them to allow people to like vomit on them like their whole life. And I just don't agree with that. It's not right. Oh, somebody wants to join. Let's see here. How do I do this? Add to stream. Hey, Ray. Can you not hear me? I can see you. Can you hear me? You're like bobbing your head. You're bobbing your head. You actually have to leave the YouTube. You have to leave your YouTube page and get in the studio.
Okay, is that
in order for it to work out?
Okay, I can hear you so much.
Or else I ain't gonna be. I can't hear you. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my headset.
I was muted.
Let me try it another way.
It also can be my connection. If it's not working, I can jump off.
Okay, yep, it was me. I'm screaming that is you and it's me. What's up? What were you saying? What were you saying? I didn't hear anything you said.
Um, oh, it's okay. Are we good now?
Yeah.
I kind of jumped on when you were talking about like disassociating with being an empath, and that definitely resonates. There are other people who are
Mm.
like us who are saying similar things.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I didn't know
Yes.
that.
Yes, there's one lady, Miriam Hasna, who is
Mm-hmm.
saying she's a retired empath, and she also
Oh.
explains it similarly to how you are, is saying that it's a part of our childhood, and
Mm-hmm.
that it was a result of trying to people please because that's kind of how we had to survive in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, a learned behavior, and attachment versus authenticity was like what she was just talking about recently. So it's really interesting because you've also been, speaking on this in this way, but it's just like a reconfirmation of that.
Yeah,
um
I feel like it's time. I feel like it's time for empaths to really take their throne first in their own life and then like out in the world. It's like if we, because empaths have this feeling like we're here to change the world, right? And we can't change the world if we feel like a victim.
right.
You can't change the world if you feel victimized and you feel like you're going to get bullied or like you're being bullied everywhere you go, everywhere you turn. It's like a monster coming to get me. Oh, oh. It's like, girl, okay. Like at some point, you have to fight back. And I feel like empaths have gotten their defenses lowered at a young age to where they have been taught is or demonized. Their primitive energy was demonized. Like anything that's in you that would create boundaries or stand up for yourself, whoever was in charge of you and control of you, because they did not raise you or raise you to be independent or self-reliant. They raised you to only be there for them, you know, or to stay close to them, to stay because they need parenting and mothering and nurturing and support. And it's a very selfish way of getting someone to stay with you forever, you know? And
Yeah,
so, yeah, I find that empaths honestly end up being the same way, but calling it something else.
I can see that actually.
It's really hard to see when you feel bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I hate saying these things, because empaths really are really sweet people and really do mean well. But if you really want to be free, you got to see things on a different level. Like, oh, okay, I'm not a complete victim. I may just be using people to meet my needs in certain ways, or emotionally blackmailing people. Like, I gave you the love I never had. Now you have to stay with me forever. You know,
Yeah.
I've done it.
And like you said, it's like w- when you explain the empath and the narcissist and like having this time, and you're like, I did find myself in the position of being in that dynamic and not
Mm-hmm.
following like my soul's purpose and getting so caught up in that codependent situation, and like, oh, I'm gonna love you like you need, and you're gonna love me like I need, and then we both don't know what that is though. No one's really
Mm.
like showing up in the love
Mm-hmm.
because we don't even know what that looks like. We don't know what that
Mm-hmm.
feels like,
That's true.
So how could we even do that for one another? We don't know what that is. And so until you break away and then really go in within, you would we discover so much more how to really love ourselves and how to really show up and like how to relate and all of that, because we weren't shown that. We weren't given that, opportunity for whatever reasons when we were growing up. And like you said, we can't be a victim of it. And I actually like am going through that with like the family dynamic, like breaking away and that being okay with that for myself to really then figure out what that love does look like, because trying to linger
Mm-hmm.
around family is difficult. Like, I had to break out of a
Yeah, it
relationship
is.
and then break away from my family's judgments of even that and just like how I'm living my life. And then
Oh,
how
yeah.
in the love for myself and what does that really look like is
Yeah. Okay, that reminds me of the water element reading I
yes.
just posted. Yeah,
I
that's
just listened to
crazy.
it before this and it's on my mind and my heart and I'm like, whoa.
Girl, that's it's like, um empaths take a lot of punches in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then to be asked to rise above that, it feels like somebody's ripping you apart. All that, like,
Yeah.
it's like when do you get like a balm of salve, something that feels soothing or whatever to your soul. And a lot of times empaths look for relationships to be that balm, to be that salve. Like, please God, send me my soulmate,
Yes.
somebody to make me feel comfort in life, because it's very uncomfortable to be born into a lifetime to where you're like, you drop here down here on earth, you're an avatar, you're a higher spiritual being, and you're supposed to save the world, put on your cape, but then you turn around and your mom and your dad are like your enemies, because not because they are bad people, but because they
Right.
feel like it's your job. They feel like because you're born in this family, it reminds me of it. Just Jesus just popped into my head to where it says in the Bible where he had to suffer being a child. Like, he tried to go out into the world at 12 years old to teach in the temple. But his parents were like, if you don't get your black ass back in the house and clean them dishes and watch your brothers and sisters, we don't. He was like, I'm the son of God, mom. you know, like he's like, ma'am, I have a purpose on earth. Excuse me, let me finish teaching my lesson. And he gets pulled like by the ear, and he gets a whooping, and he has to be a carpenter. You know what I'm saying? It's like hell on earth for someone who knows who they are and knows their purpose at such a young age, to be pulled away out of that to focus on family. But there's an indoctrination that goes on while you're a child, that there's this
Yes.
guilt. You feel guilt. It's like, if I'm not there for everybody, everybody's going to feel like I'm a bad person. And honestly, they do. They feel like, who the hell do you think you are? And you're not better than us. You need to submit to the regime of this family. And it may not even be said out loud. It's unspoken, which is the worst, actually.
Yes. Yes. That resonates for real.
Yeah. It would be cool if it was out loud, spoken out loud. Then you can like have a rebuttal.
I've actually not traveled to where I moved to another state a few years ago and I've not
Mhm.
traveled back because I feel conflicted. Like I'm comfortable with traveling amongst this what's going on with society within the US is fine to me.
Mhm.
My
Mhm.
experience have been fine, but I've not want to go back because I don't really want to deal with the dynamics and I don't want to be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you came here, you didn't see me."
Mm.
you
Okay.
know.
So what's stopping you now?
But say that again.
What's stopping you? You said you don't want to go back, or you
Well,
do want to go back?
yes, I've just come to the realization, like, I kind of feel like, why am I allowing myself to be held back? Like, why just do
Oh
what I want
yeah,
to do, you know?
yeah,
And
right.
I think it's more of a test of like, am I going to take the space and not feel like I can't move about wherever I'm going to be? And I don't have
Hmm.
to necessarily like be around those who I don't feel are going to be healthy for me right now.
Yeah,
And I feel that obligation
yeah,
that I have to.
yeah. I've been facing that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just kind of taking it, take it. You know, if it's something you want to do. You might not have the blessing of. It's a subconscious thing too,
Mm.
because nobody can really hold you back from anything. You know, but it's conditioning and programming that the messages come up like you're getting too far away. You're getting too far away from your family. They're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like it. And then you go, oh, you go, oh no. Like little Bo Peep lost in the woods. You're like, oh no. You know? And then for
So
me,
true.
like I just go call a therapist or something. Because for some reason, after that, oh no, your nervous system shuts down on you, and you can't think, and you don't know what to do. Mhm. Yeah, but yeah, being a true adult does mean that you will make decisions that are for your highest and best good, and not against that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, thinking for
That also
yourself.
connects with like, yeah,
Imagine that.
it's happening.
What that also connects with what?
The card that you have with the unicorn and the lady in the gown, how you said it's
Hmm.
like the picture of when we were a child, the fairy tale and how we wanted things to be and everything. But then like we have to then now like parent ourselves and then grow up into the adults that we're that we are to be, and on our own though. you know, all like do all of those processes
But the
and
thing
then like
is,
step.
yeah, empaths don't have to be alone. We don't have to be alone.
Well, yeah, I take it as we have to do the process alone, but not necessarily like be alone, I guess.
Well,
We're
yeah,
not
it
destined to
is.
be
It's
alone
like
per se.
yeah, it's your own internal unique process,
Mm,
you know. But you don't have to be all by yourself. I don't like when people
okay.
are isolated. I don't like it because I just that's too painful. And I feel like empaths feel ashamed of their process. A lot of empaths feel embarrassed about the things that they're learning. The late bloomer shame type of thing. I guess I could make a video about that, like being ashamed of being a late bloomer, and then when you're ashamed of being a late bloomer, you hold yourself back even more than you have already been held back. So like, when do you
Hmm.
get to actually like the issue that empaths are really experiencing is that they never got a chance to ask questions and be a kid, and be like, I don't know. Can you teach me? To get guidance. Empaths never got guidance. There's a special space where you trust someone to guide you, and you looking up and you say, I don't know. Empaths have never gotten a chance to say, I don't know. Can you teach me? Can you guide me? Can you support me? Can you help me? Empaths never got a chance to allow someone to be there for them. And so that part in a relationship is foreign to empaths.
Mm-hmm.
It's foreign. It's like, and so then when you get older, you feel ashamed of needing anyone, ashamed of asking for help, or just, it's not about asking for help. It's about not knowing, ashamed of what you don't know, type of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Which in turn holds you back, because then you'll never learn if you don't ask, if you don't get guidance, and if you don't get a mentor, if you don't have a guide or a teacher. For some reason, as a human being, there's just some things that we don't know instinctually. We know how to eat and feed, and there's certain, we can breathe, we learn some things naturally. Other things, if somebody don't teach you, you'll be lost at sea for like the rest of your life. And I feel like relationships is just one of those things where it's a continuous learning process and evolution. And empaths feel ashamed of their evolution instead of embrace it.
I can see how I was once in that space, but I feel like I've shifted out of that. I think that part.
Yeah. I don't think that you necessarily are struggling with that, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people
it helps
do.
that I have my daughter, I know, helps me to see a lot of things and like do those like processes and be more aware, because she's in that age where she's curious and wants to know and needs me to be patient and like I'm showing up for her differently than what I experienced. And I try to be really aware of that so that I'm not imprinting what I had, on her. And I think that's why I also kind of isolate us from like my family dynamics, because I understand, I see that more clearly, but I appreciate this opportunity with her, because it is definitely like helping me to grow, and I can show up for her in this different way and give her the space to be curious and to be, to like stretch out her voice, and then kind of show the boundaries that, and like just explore a lot of those things. So
I
I'm
feel
not
like,
alone in it, really.
yeah, you
She's
have your
really
baby. You have your baby.
yeah.
I feel like there would be no better mom or dad than a highly sensitive mom and dad, like that's healed. Like, because what you're describing sounds like bliss. That sounds heavenly. To since being sensitive just means that you're aware of life and you feel your feelings. You feel life. You have a connection with life. And to be able to allow your child to experience themselves in connection with life is beautiful. It's beautiful to watch, and it's beautiful to know that that's what you're giving them. More so than trying to give them the love that you never got, which is a lot of times an obsession with your trauma. That people think they're giving someone what they never had, but they're really obsessing about the trauma they experienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you ever go through that
What's
stage?
Yes. So I was just gonna say that. So when I was in my this past relationship, like there was this period where she did also experience that, um, that like a couple of years of that perpetuation,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing the dynamics that I was going through, and she's even stated like that I've changed, and has brought
Mm-hmm.
up certain things she had saw, in that other person. And so it's a
Mm-hmm.
huge teaching like moment for both of us.
Wow.
And so I'm just like really amazed at her and me and just like the whole dynamics of it all, and being more aware of you know just it's been so much, and I'm just so grateful. But we did come far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray, for talking. You always give
Thank
great
you.
combo, and I'll see you doing our fairy friends meeting next Sunday.
Yes, on the 7th.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that.
So am
I'm looking,
I.
yeah, I'm looking
Bye.
forward to it. Bye bye. Have a great day.
You too.
I don't know how to end this.